Welcome everybody to another great episode of Real Life Matters. And before you even start watching, I know you got your phones and your cell phones and stuff in your hand. Please go and subscribe to the YouTube channel, DBoss Networks. Or you can follow me on Instagram and all the major Sweet DBoss on Facebook. If you try to be my friend, I'll accept you, or unless you just have to follow me, or you could just like the page and I'll see you come in. And Sweet DBoss is not sweet like sugar. It's sweet as a hotel suite, SUITE. So you can find me there. But anyways, welcome everybody. Welcome. I got a great lineup for you tonight. This gentleman, we're going to see what's going to be happening with him. Unfortunately, we can't play the video because it's a little bit too much. But it's not too much as meaning too much that we can't accept it. But it's just a little bit of the language thing. And I don't want to get the people calling me and calling the network and telling me something. So with no other further ado, we are going to get to know this gentleman. And he's coming from the South. And he's going to tell you exactly where he's coming from the South with all that good food, good drinks, good weather, not cold like up here. And we get all those 4 seasons. But with no other further ado, I introduce to you today, BOXX a Million.
Whoa. What's up, people? What's up, DBoss? What's that with you?
All right, I like BOXX a Million. BOXX.
Yes.
I love with 2 X's.
2 X's with no Lexus next door to Texas, straight from Louisiana, you heard me?
And that's where you're from, you're Louisiana or New Orleans?
New Orleans, Louisiana, 9th Ward and West Bank, Gretna to be exact.
Wow. So was your home and everything okay with that hurricane coming through?
I stay in North Carolina now.
Oh,
actually
it came up that way a little bit too.
It came up little bit of rain, but I'm in North Carolina because of 16 years ago Hurricane Katrina. So that's why I live in North Carolina.
That was something. A lot of people had to adjust their lives from that.
Yeah, it's a majority of my family, a lot of my friends, a lot of us had to readjust our lives because of that. Yeah.
So you lost a lot of stuff then?
I lost everything. Katrina, 16 years ago, I lost everything. I had a bag of dirty laundry, and I came up here to North Carolina, and I just started over. So 16 years ago, I started from -0.
Wow.
Yeah.
And look at you now.
Hey, a whole 180. I did a whole change.
And look at you got is your studio in your house or are you at a studio?
It's a studio in my house. It's my garage. It turned my garage to a home studio / office. So it's been like this for like 7 years, about 7 years.
So how long have you been doing your rap career?
1993.
1993?
Yes.
Whoa.
I've been around for a while.
That's
yeah.
But you think in 1993, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, but see, the thing is I'm young, so I had a foot in each generation. So I have a foot in the 90s generation, and I have a foot in the 2000s generations as well. So I'm the end of what it is. I'm the end of generation, what is called Generation X, and I'm the beginning of the millennials. So I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle?
I'm in the middle. So I was able to see both eras. I was able to live in both eras. What a time to be alive.
So what inspired you to do what you do?
As far as hip hop, it's different aspects to it. Like as far as with music itself in general, it started with Michael Jackson being young, Billie Jean, the Thriller album, basically early 80s when I was born. That's what really started me. Thriller, when I saw Michael Jackson, I knew I wanted to do music.
My brother loves that. Oh, you can't tell him anything about that.
Yeah, Michael Jackson at the beginning, when I saw him as a kid, I was just like, wow, this is what I want to do. And then it went further into, rest in peace, Biz Markie as well, with Picking Boogers. And that's when I said, I like rap. That's when I was like, rap is what I'm going to do. And then actually one of my older brothers, he's passed away now. He actually started to gain a lot of traction late 80s, early 90s in New Orleans. And he was killed in 1993. So he was rapping. So I basically was like, I want.
He was killed? Is he killed because of his rapping or it was something else?
Not street stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
yeah. That was the times in New Orleans when it was the murder capital of the world. It was a lot of that going on at the time. And that's what I grew up in, that kind of environment, you know.
Mhm.
So when he was murdered, that's when I really knew. I already was starting, but that's when I kind of had to pick up what he did. He was great at what he done for that space and time, and that's why I'm kind of revered lyrically, and then in music and in hip hop and in rap is I'm great at what I do. It's just I picked it up at 10, 11 years old, and I never put it down.
So do you have your own identity, or do people relate to you what your brother's done?
I have my own identity because it was so long ago. That was 1993. But
Yeah.
streetwise and relative wise, for people in that generation, and even when I first did my first prison sentence, I was synonymous with my brother. And I have 7 brothers, 3 older
Ooh,
brothers and 4 younger brothers.
okay.
Yeah.
That's a big
So
family there.
yeah, I have 3 sisters as well. I have 10.
Oh, so that's 10.
I had 10 siblings. Yeah.
Oh, gee.
I'm the middle child. Yeah.
Well, I can guess it can go middle both ways, depending how you
Yeah.
do it.
So that's why I said I had a foot in each generation. So I saw it all, like literally, literally.
So did your family support what you do?
To a certain degree, because everybody has their own thing, but to a certain degree, I had 3 little brothers do music, and I have an older brother who does music sometimes, but he's mostly into he coached football in Houston, Texas. So he's more into football. And my younger brothers, they branched off eventually, and they have their own company. They're doing their own stuff with, but it depends. It's supportive sometimes, but I don't really get into that to say, okay, you have to support me, et cetera, et cetera. But in certain instances they do, and in certain instances they don't. You know, but
Okay.
that's
So
the
is
music.
this so this music is what you do, or do you work? Because I know it's a lot of artists have to work to support what
Oh
you.
yeah, yeah. I work as well. I got 5 kids.
Oh,
I got 5 kids.
are you
And
following in the tradition there?
yes, yes, I got 5 kids, and I have real overhead. I don't have the fake overhead. I got real overhead. Got property, got mortgage, got et cetera, it's
So
bills.
you
So
got
I have
work.
to
So you
yes,
work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and then after Katrina, I had to adjust. I kind of I was recording music, but I really didn't push music in from till maybe 2008ish, 9ish. I really got back into being around and moving around festivals, performing, but I always was recording. But I had to take time to kind of readjust. I was in a new place, and then I'm from the era of really was selling CDs out your trunk,
Hmm.
and so as that time came, I had to adjust to my space and everything else. So when you got to adjust to all that type of stuff, it's kind of a different type of the game changed. So I had to eventually adjust to game changing. You have kids, you buy a house, you get married, you do all that stuff. So you have to start adjusting. And then just in these times as well, if you don't
Are you
really have,
married and you're doing this career? Wow.
yes, yes, I have a real
Wow.
I work, and then I do this music, and then I produce, I engineer, I write, I do it all. Like I've been doing this, like if you talk to a lot of people who know me, who follow my brand, who know me personally as well, they'll tell you I'm a man of a million hats, and I get it all done. I'm a man of no excuses.
Well, how did you come up with Box a Million? Your name.
Box a Million, it's different segments to it.
Okay.
When I was young, we played youth sports. I had a coach named Coach B, Emmanuel Bozeman, rest in peace. So when I was 11 years old, we played youth sports, and I had to get an adult size helmet for football. So the coach started calling me Shoebox because I had a shoebox head. So after he was calling me Shoebox, I actually now a good friend of mine I grew up with, Damon Peanut Higgins, rest in peace. He started calling me just Box and put another X on it because we used to fight, for neighborhoods and neighborhoods. So I was a good fighter. So he started calling me Box. And then it went to me going to prison. And when I went to prison, my rap name was the Adolescent because I still was a juvenile. I was convicted under the super predator law with Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and all that. So I went to prison at 16. So when I went to prison at 16, I had a little short time. I still was getting out in my early 20s, late teens. So they always say, when you get out, you're going to make $1 million, box a million, box a million. Box Billion. So that's all he used to call me. So basically it stuck. And so I came up with a good way of saying, okay, Box with the $6 million man, because I'm like a superhero, and I kind of put it together in the teenage mind. And I came home and lyrically, or with my different styles or the way I approach music is kind of like in the sense of basically like when hip hop was at the point when you can be Bruce Wayne and Batman, or you can be Clark Kent and Superman, Tony Stark and Iron Man. That's the era of hip hop I come from. So kind of put it like an alter ego kind of.
Right. So,
Yeah.
who am I asking? I tell you, man, woo, deep there. Who have you worked with?
Ooh, I've worked with a lot of people. I've been around since '93, so
Yeah, but who?
I've worked with. Let's see. Try to see who people would know. When I was younger, when I got out of prison, I was with Holloway from Ghetto Commission, who used to be with No Limit. I was with his label DFL at one period of time. So I worked with a lot of them and a few cats from New Orleans that everybody knew from the 90s, early 2000s. So Trade, Holloway, Ghetto Commission, Ice Mike. He's a revered Southern producer and rapper. That's like my big brother. I work with him a lot till this day. Hug Dynamite. He's a producer from New Orleans. My cousin. I've worked with, like I said, Trey 8. I've worked with Lil Click. I've worked with it's a lot of rappers. Well, recently I got a new bounce song that came out last year with everybody know who Rico Love is. He's a Grammy Award winning producer writer. That's my family. I've worked with his artists as well, Mia Ariana of who else? There's so many people. I'm just trying to think of other people. Logic.
Well, I guess you're well versed because you're all over the.
Yeah,
Logic work with so many people.
Yeah, Logic from California. He's known as well, and then also Exit Only from Mississippi. Damian Neville, I'm in a group with, also known as Lord Nexus. Slick Double, Selector from Jamaica. It's so many people. I'll have to go down the list and actually really look into. It's a lot of, some people know nationwide, some people know regionally, some people know worldwide. So it's a lot of people I've had a chance to work with. It's a lot of people that release music, a lot of people that didn't release music. It's people I produced for, it's people I've arranged for, it's people I wrote a little for, so I try to, get my hands in what I can and whoever I can build relationships with,
So who would you like to work with that you haven't? Because this Real Life Matters, and people tend to, I don't know what, they tend to scoop up the people here that come on.
Nas, Scarface, T.I., anybody from Wu-Tang, AZ, Slim Thug, Corday. It's just so many people I love to work with if I ever had a chance to rub shoulders with. I can go on and on. Just basically lyrical substance, Griselda. There's a lot of people I would like to work with, Boosie's from Baton Rouge, from my state. It's a lot of people I like to work with. And then the thing about it too is I was able to work around and move around with a lot of people and rub shoulders with a lot of people. Got a few relationships with a lot of people, worldwide, nationwide, underground. It's just that my life is just not based off of music. It's a lot of opportunities I've had, but I've chosen my family, my wife, my kids, a lot of the times over sometimes music situations. Because sometimes it doesn't fit into that structure, you know what I mean? Because at heart and in a lot of my ways and attributes, I'm Pan-African, you know what I'm saying? So I believe in the family structure, I believe in us, and I also know my power of what I can do and put out here and represent sometimes. So sometimes I can get a little reclusive when it comes to anything that doesn't align with who I am or what my purpose is. if that makes sense.
So you have boundaries.
I have real boundaries in real life, like real life, like not knocking nobody for whoever they are,
That's
whatever they
right.
do. But a lot of the stuff these guys rap about, that was my life. A lot of these stuff these guys portrayed, that was who I was. So a lot of those things I will not interject myself in, or put myself in that situation, or put my family, my loved ones, my friends, my cousins, my close people, because we bout that, like really bout that. So I won't backtrack for nothing. So a
Wow.
lot of things I won't do, and then I'm real business orientated. I really understand business, like really, really, like all kind of sides of business, all different kinds of industries. Like I can go in a project and I could help you chop down a key of cocaine, and I also can help you close a deal on a Fortune 500 company. Believe that. I can do both in real life. In real life, not for play,
Okay.
not on record, but in real life.
So tell us about Royalty Double X.
B royalty, B
Be
royalty
royalty.
is B royalty. It's just a play on my name, Box, with BOXX and royalty. So basically, the royalty, if you look at it in an artistic way, it's a rectangle or a box, and it's just saying
Okay.
BOX, and it's also saying B royalty. And then the XX is just for my name, Box, but also XX like Malcolm X. So it's a
Okay.
play in artistic kind of way. So it's saying B royalty. So you
So
have
people
to.
don't get confused or anything like that if they.
A lot of people get confused with it, and I just let them say what they want. And if they really want to know, like you asked me, I was able to explain it. Like a lot of things I do, and even with the Four Horsemen, what we doing with me, Exit Only, Slick Double, Lord Nexus, and the extension of Selector, Fred Sty, and Tone, and everybody. It's a lot of things. I'm at this point in life and where we are as a world and as human beings. A lot of things for me at this point is conversation pieces. Let's have conversations. Let's erect thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So that's what a lot of stuff with me is at. So a
So do
lot of
your
things I do. That's
do
what it's
your
about.
children know what you do and some things they can't listen to, right?
Some things they can't listen to, and some things they do. But I also got stuff going on with my kids. That's the other part of what I do. Landry Seven Media, when it comes to videos, pictures, whatever, and also working on comics with them and different other things with them as well. Just seeing, getting them acclimated into it, and if they want to do anything with it, it's there for them to do it.
So that's another part of your brand that you do.
Yes, it's basically Box a Million Incorporated. A
Hmm.
subsidiary of that is Landry Seven Media, and another subsidiary of that is a Few Million Words. The Few
Okay.
Million Words is basically my publishing company. I own 51% of that, and my wife and kids own 50% of that.
Wow. So you kept it in the family.
Yeah, everything I do is within my family. Like even if you get deeper into my brothers, my sisters, my cousins, it's all kind of, you know, it's all kind of intertwined with each other. We support each other. We help push each other. I have a real understanding of business. Since the 1800s, my whole family in New Orleans has been business owners and entrepreneurs. I come from that. It's just that, like I said earlier in the conversation, readjusting coming here after Katrina in 2005, I had to acclimate within society. So I had to maneuver a certain way to survive. So I started from negative zero. So even though sometimes I'm not always, how can I put it? I'm always settled in what I have
Hmm.
to do. I'm like, okay, I have to remind myself. I really started from a bag of dirty laundry and a
Wow.
$200 Red Cross card 200 years ago. So I could keep going. I still got breath in my lungs. I'm still healthy. So I could keep going. You feel me?
And God kept you going.
God got me. You know. I understand favor and I understand purpose. You know.
Yeah. And grace.
Yes. Most of all.
That's that.
Yes.
That's
Most of
you.
all.
Favor and grace.
Most of
Because
all.
look at you. Like you had to literally pick yourself up and
Every
come
time.
to another state
Every time.
and just had to live, and you had to
Yeah.
pick your wife, your kids, and everybody just had to move, and it left everything behind. That's
Yeah.
back in the biblical days.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You pack up what you have and let's go.
Exodus, movement of your people. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna ask you a little bit about your music here.
Hmm.
You have a song there, 2020 Vision. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about that.
2020 Vision is off my latest project I dropped. 24 cuts. I made it more like an album playlist. And 2020 Vision was just one of the most recent songs I made in 2019 for the project. That whole project was just a culmination of music from 2014 up to 2019. So it basically was tying in the concept of 2020 was coming. When I recorded it, I finished it like early in 2019. So I just put in the concept of 2020 vision of being able to see, and the aspect of being able to see and looking into the future and being focused and being able to actually just be on the grind. So I just put it all together with the 2020 and the concept of that, and then tried to get the syncopation and the rhyming patterns and the cadences of nowadays trap music, and just mix it in what I would do. Some people get it, and some people who really understand music.
Is it a clean version or not really?
Not really. It's not a clean version, because that everything on there was just made for syncs. It was made for playlists, but they have certain songs on there that's geared toward radio and geared toward clean versions that it was for. So like you saw that video, but I didn't understand. I don't know how you didn't run across the song I have with my wife and my kids. I have one on there that's the most recent.
Mm-hmm. Well, I see one here. It's what is it? Side by side.
Side by side. That's the one right there. That's more radio. It got a few radio spins here and there. The other places got a few little placements on it as well. And that's
so that's everybody in there. So you're laying down. So this version here is you.
Clean. It's clean. Yeah, that's me. That's clean. That's a clean.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we should play this clean version.
Yes, you can play. You can play.
We can. Yeah, we can. Because I didn't know. This is Real Life Matters, people, and we this is what we do when everybody's on. Okay, so hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna share this. Whoa! I tell you, using all my skills. There you are. And I subscribed to the channel.
I did. I subscribed to yours also.
I can't wait to see this family one. Okay, it's coming.
Born in the position behind enemy lines. Most times trying to find your ways painful.
You break through, killing the God in you is what they can't do.
Focus on the bullseye, but seems I ain't perfected my aim, no.
Focus on what you can do.
Certain it was almost perfect.
Just keep working, remember you're perfect.
It's worthless.
But you know what your worth is. So bring it back when it's needed. That's what you do, baby. So you see that your daughters too, how you follow through.
All the reasons I do what I do, make moves for the crew.
True, to show you how to win. You begin greater.
It's greater later. It's all about how you finish. I went in to win. Thanks for the encouragement.
You know I got you, love.
You my best friend.
Sit down. No black man, I'll be around. Sit down. Stand talking, shine your crown. Sit down. I'll be by your side to hold you down. Sit down. Set in place can't stop us now.
We defy all the odds.
We're through all our
Nothing
problems.
won't slow us down to the end.
Of time, I'm around.
Can't let nothing slow us down. I'm a king, see the crown.
With your queen by your side, away somehow. The impossible, we got a lot to do. It's on me and you.
vision is set. Forget neglect, could never let the negative be a sedative. The future's too imperative, control a narrative, build pyramids. You see they don't let us live. Agendas to get our kids, that's why we build the beds. Investing on where we live. Show them it's ownership, grow them to love the skin they in. You send them to win, fake, we in it to win, from beginning to end. Dead. We in it to win, from the beginning to end. You my best friend.
Sit down, no black man, I'll be around. Sit down, stand talking, shine your crown. Sit down, I'll be by your side to hold you down. Sit down, the set in place can't stop us now.
I love you, Daddy, I love you, Mommy, I love you, Daddy, I love you, Mommy, I love you, Daddy, I love you, Mommy, I love you, Daddy, I love you.
Sit down, no black man, I'll be around. Sit down, stand talking, shine your crown. Sit down, I'll be by your side to hold you down. Sit down, the set in place can't stop us now.
What? What?
You like that?
Look at you and your locks and all that. You're gonna have the Rastafarian culture and them go, what? You cut off your Or you still got your locks there? It's up
Oh
on
yeah,
your head.
of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
you see?
Yeah, I'm never cutting them off. It's my third time growing them. I'm not cutting them off from this.
Your third time.
Yeah, I had some when I was younger. My father made me cut them off because he said, you don't know what you're growing them for. So I had to cut them off when I was a teenager. They were real short. And then I cut them off for my oldest son. The oldest one you see, and I cut it off with
Yes.
him. It's in his pillow. My locks are in his pillow. Yeah, the ones I had in New Orleans in his pillow. And then I cut them off.
Oh, you made a pillow and you put that in as
Put
a
that in
pillow.
there for him, and we started them back together. So when I grew my hair out, his hair grew, we got them twisted together. So his locks and my locks are the same age. So it's basically like I made a covenant with him, you know.
Well, your wife, everybody's beautiful. Your kids, oh my gosh, everybody participated in the whole thing.
Yeah, you could imagine trying to put that together.
Well, I like
Trying
the
to
part
get
when you
everybody-
guys. I like the part when you guys sit. It was real life matter. I like the part when you guys are sitting on the patio. That's how people is actually sitting. You guys got your pajamas. You know, you didn't really put on the whole. You know, I'm sitting down like with real clothes. You got your pajamas and.
And that's basically what I try to project in music at this point. Is for everyday real life people. You know, it's so not knocking nobody for what they do, but everything is so far fetched. You know, so it's a lot of people that you got to come in their living room and meet them right where they are and say, hey, I understand you. I might look like this sometimes. I might be here this sometimes. I might be with that person sometimes. I might have a great 8-9 month run, but I'm a real life person. You know, so I like to at least give people real life visuals, real life aspects. There's so many other pieces of content and visuals I got putting it together, but you can imagine my 24-hour day. You know, so
I have 27 hours in the day.
Exactly. There's no such thing as a 24-hour day. So I have a lot of things coming and putting together. It's just, it takes time, you know, and you know, so as long as I always say, as long as I got health, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna push through for it. And understanding how hip hop is growing and evolving, there's no such thing as aging out of it anymore. So I'll be 40 this year, so I'm gonna keep going. I still look like I still looking like I'm in at least my early 30s. So you know, I'm doing good in that area.
Well, what's your craziest moment that happened to you? You could tell two things on the set when you're creating anything. You know, something crazy must have happened.
What, one of the craziest things that happened performing?
Yes.
Let me see. Let me see. Probably something real old, something in New Orleans. You know, probably one of the last times I performed in New Orleans, probably before Katrina. The craziest things. Ooh, I actually did something real wrong on the stage with a female. So that's about the craziest thing ever happened.
Like what? Well, like what happened? That's not telling anybody anything.
All right, everybody know what bounce music is, you know. So performing on the stage, and it got a little naughty. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Yeah. Just put it
So
that way.
you got in trouble.
Well, I couldn't get in trouble back then. Back then, I couldn't get in trouble. Anything pre-2005, I couldn't get in trouble. Anything 2005 on, I'm a good boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So number two.
Number two, what? The second craziest thing that happened?
What about putting the video together that you guys just sang?
Oh, with that, trying to get him to be still.
What?
That's the main thing, is with my kids, is trying to get them to be still. To tell them we doing this, we got to shoot this, we got to make this happen. It's a lot of pieces of content that my kids are very great, very talented, very attention grabbing, and trying to get them to cooperate is the hardest part. And that's the thing that I've learned over time, is that when I was young, my sister actually been, one of my older sisters actually been on the Apollo before. She actually, she a great singer, awesome singer. But when we were younger, my dad it's something he told me a long time ago. We was like, we should have been this, and this all is going on. We was super talented, like me and all us were super talented. You put us, we can do almost anything in any industry, especially if you put all us together. But he said, when y'all were young, he said, I just got my mind to let y'all be kids. And that's something I've learned with them. Like, I push them a little bit, but then I understand too, I let them be kids, because they're kids. They're not even the grown kid for their age. Like my oldest son, he's 12, and he's a kid. He's a 12-year-old kid. Like, he's into kid stuff, you know. And my youngest, the twins, they're 6 and they're into kid stuff. So a lot of times, you know, I just try not to say, okay, I'm gonna rush you into situations, because when I was 11, I was grown. I was grown, you know what I'm saying? I was 15 years old, I had grown women. So, you know, so I don't want to deal with that, you know. I keep an eye on my youngest son in that aspect, though, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, I keep an eye on him in that aspect, yeah.
Well, because he's learning for the other ones. Yeah. So what more can we expect from BOXX $1 million?
As far as from BOXX $1 million, just expect more music. Of course, the 4 Horsemen project, the EP, should be out with before the end of this year. Fourth quarter, definitely. From the 4 Horsemen, that's me. That's Exit Only. That's Slick Double. That's Lord Nexus. Definitely expect that. I'm revisiting my Project Carolina Barbecue Bourbon Street Beignets too, with my homie Gills. It's more videos we have to shoot from that. Also, more videos I'm doing from winning season as well. Also, it's a lot of features should be coming out with me on them as well. And doing, like I said, more videos from winning season. And also be on the lookout, putting together a comic book and an EP with my kids. That's going to be coming out real soon. Just trying to get that together. Also putting
an actual comic book, or is it going to be like a?
No, it's going to be an e-comic book. My son, okay. he makes it physical. And we'll see if we'll do it physical, but you know, actual print, the overhead on actual print is a lot way more.
I know.
Putting it together and selling it on Amazon, you know. So that's something we putting together. It's just really on their time frames of when he feel like finishing. He's very artistic when it comes to his imagination. So putting that together with them. So it's a few things that I got my hands in that I'm working on. But just like I say, I just pray for time and resources. You know what I'm saying? Because I run out of time so much here. So it's a lot of things I got my hands in. I got my hands on that I'm releasing. And then also it's a project that I kind of put not gonna say a hold on, but kind of a pause to work on a 4 Horsemen. It's basically like a 2-3 disc project called BOXX = MC Square. And it's just gonna be some real boom bap hip hop featuring all of the people you see me associated with within the music industry.
So you're doing like a collaboration or collab?
It's gonna be like a big old collaboration 3-disc project. Hopefully I can have out by 2023, Lord say the same. Because it's a lot of work. And then we shifted into doing this 4 Horsemen project. You know, the 4 Horsemen project is an EP that should be released in October. And then an album we also working on too. So we just dissected it into an EP, and then an album is just basically a exclusive moment in time as far as the Four Horsemen of us just really talking about the times. You know, the state of the world is in that right now, like a time capsule. Because a lot of people at this point, too many people don't want to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing anybody could tell you about me. I don't care. I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm gonna speak my heart. I'm gonna speak power, the truth, universal truth. So that's just who I am. So I just think at this point and at this time, just to leave a time capsule for the future, to the world, the world changed, and it's gonna forever be changed in the last 2 years. So we just want to touch on those, you know, them kind of topics nobody really want. Like, okay, we ain't talk about that, and I'm like, why I can't talk about that? I own me. I own my brand. I own my intellectual property, so I can talk about what I want to talk about. You know.
So there's no holding you back.
Nah, it's no holding me back. Only I can hold myself back at this point, and that's how I look at it in life. You can put obstacles in front of me, but as long as there's a will, there's a way. You know, and that's how I look at it. Sometimes you just got to go extra hard to put food on the table. You know, knife on cut. Nothing came to me easy. You know, I've been in prison since a 16-year-old child. And ain't nothing been uphill. It's been all around, up, down, left, right since then. So nothing come easy for me. I'm a soldier in the literal sense, you know?
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how you get your work, your regular work.
I wake up and work. I wake up, go to work, get off of work, do what I have to do as daddy, and jump in here. Do what I have to do this, jump in here. And, you know, and just at this point right now, just like I say, a lot of it has been just collaborations and collective things. Okay. So what I do is I used to be to where I can work on all of my music at one time. I could be doing everything. I could be working on this project with Ice Mike. I could be working on this with the Four Horsemen. I could be working on this with my main circle with Gills. Smooth. I could go and write for this one. I could go produce for this one. And then in previous times, I had the type of a career job to where I worked only 15 nights a month. So, and I was able to do that. So now transitioning and being home more in 2019, right before the pandemic, I stopped that gig. I got kind of ill. I got surgery, got that squared away. And then I transitioned into saying, okay, I'm going to get a traditional type of job. So my family be more, my kids getting older. So they wanted to see me more, you know, so I kind of switched a lot of things up. So really at this point, is, you know, I do the music and stuff, but it's mainly to be a staple for them in these times. You know what I'm saying? Because even though we had the streets back in our days, we still had a moral fiber. We still had a lot of the code and the ethics, and it's still out here to a certain degree. But you see more and more of the newer generation, they trade in morals, code, and ethics for a bag. And you can always get a bag, but once your morals, your code, and your ethics gone, that's something you got to look in the mirror and face. And we live in the times where a lot of people don't like the mirror. I love the mirror. I look good. You feel me?
Wow. And you know, and then you have in your one of your pictures the lion. What's that mean? Like
Mighty Lion of Judah. Yahweh, the Most High, the Universal God. Yeah. You call him Yahweh, Allah. You call him God. Whatever you call him, it's the Universal God. And that's what I'm tapped into. I'm the Mighty Lion of Judah. You know, I'm a believer of the way. You know, so that's what I stayed attached to. That's what saved me. You listen to my music, you go back and you listen to my music from a kid up until now, you'll feel that presence, you'll feel that instance, you will understand Jah, you'll know that's what I'm tethered to, that's what I'm tied to, that's my source, that's what kept me going, that's the favor, that's what's seen in me when I approach. When you look deep into my eyes, that's what you see. You know, and I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid to say it, I'm not afraid to shout it. You know,
and you should, because that's you.
Yeah.
If that's your spirituality, that's something you cling to, and that's something that you have to. That's what makes you who you are.
Yes.
So that is who you are.
Yes.
And it's obviously reflecting in everything that you do.
Yes, definitely. And that's why when you do hear me have any part of production in the music that I'm on or around, or anybody that's affiliated with me, anytime you hear Mighty Lion of Judah, that's me. I just don't produce under BOXX Million. I produce under Mighty Lion Eye. So anytime you hear Mighty Lion of Judah on a song, that's me. So you hear it, spread it around a lot, and that's me. I'm Mighty Lion Eye. Yeah.
All right. So if people have to find you on social media and stuff and reach out to you, or they want to book you or anything like that, where do they find you?
BOXX Million. BOXXAMILLION. Really, you could go to boxamillion.com, spelled that way, or just Google me. I take up the whole 3 or 4 pages of Google. The first 3 or 4 pages of Google, I take it up. Honestly.
But y'all make sure you spell that X with a double X.
So. 2 X's. 2 X's with no Lexus next to Texas out Louisiana. You heard me?
Wow, it's been a pleasure.
Pleasure as well. Pleasure as well.
Oh my God, we gotta come back again when your kids put out this with the comic books and stuff. And then they can come on too. I want to talk.
They would love to do that.
Oh my God! And they don't have to stay
running there and just stick their head like, "What you doing?" Other ones that just come say, "What you doing?" My oldest son that come pull out his drawings and his ideas and say, "Well, see this, and I have a business plan for this." Be like, "Boy, you got to finish the product first. Go ahead." You know?
Yeah, but that's okay. This is what I do. This is Real Life Matters, and this is what I do. So, it's good that you got to come back. Just reach out back. There's any shout out you want to say to anybody or?
All day. Shouts out to everybody I'm affiliated with. Shouts out, the 4 Horsemen we coming. Shout out to the Band of Brothers. That consists of Fred Stein, the 4 Horsemen, Exclusive Selector, Tone the Storm Rider. Shout out to Ice Mike. Shout out to everybody I rock with back home from New Orleans. Everybody I rock with back home to all the way to Cali. Shout out Triple P. Shout out, I could go on forever. Shout out the Master Music Show. Shout out my little brothers, Double Paradise, Rico, Chico. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my cousin Malcolm with the ugly where you see me wear that all the time. Shout out Team No Sleep, my people Scully from New Orleans. Jesus, I could go on and on. Shout out my little brother, Landry's Barbershop. Shout out to my brother in Houston. Anytime you're in Houston, make sure you go to New Orleans Daiquiri Seafood. You know what I'm saying? When you're in Houston, holler at my sister, get your catering done, everything. I could go on and on. When you're in New Orleans, holler at all my people in New Orleans. I could go on and on. There's so many people I want to shout out and I want to deal with, but everybody know me. You know what I'm saying? Love is an action. Love is a verb. And that's what I do. I try to show it in my actions as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? So anybody I forgot, I ain't forget you. It's just my brain bad sometimes. I love you.
All right. Well, thank you, BOXX Million.
Thank you.
No problem. And I do want to thank all the viewers for watching tonight. I'm telling you, we got down to BOXX Million and dissected him. Thank God. I didn't think I was going to do it, but we did it.
Yeah.
And there's so much more.
So much more. We didn't even dig deep into the lyrical mastermind. You ain't digging into none of that yet. You ain't really digging to them parts, them components of me, to putting together words and putting together literature that's trying to live forever. That's another side of me, or the revolutionary side of me. There's so many aspects to me. But I'll be back. I'll be back whenever you're ready for me to be back.
Yeah, well, when you're ready, when you release that thing, we're ready. We'll just go cut this down and show people what you are, because a lot of people now know who is BOXX Million.
Bless.
Are you blessed too, everybody? So have a blessed night.
Peace.